Alright YouTube, it is a cold, snowy day here in mid-Missouri. Got sent home a few hours early just because the traffic and the weather is so bad. So I figured I'd make some YouTube videos, and this is a video of my newest acquisition. And it's a great shooter. I bought some factory ammo for it. I also bought some brass and bullets and some dies because I definitely want to reload for this. And this thing, for those of you who don't know, kicks like a mule with these factory ammo. I chronoed the factory ammo. It's going to about 2,000 feet per second, and that's a 208 grain bullet. And it's shooting this, and if I can get it to focus in there, 8x56R. This is the PPU. This is actually a reload, but I'm shooting PPU bullets, 208 grain, 8mm, and these are actually 330 diameter instead of a standard 8mm diameter. You'll notice it has an interesting neck shoulder to the cartridge. It's not as very pronounced, but what this is a Mannlicher design, and this is a Hungarian M95, chambered obviously in 8x56R. These were originally chambered in 8x50R when they were black powder, and the rifles were eventually re-arsenaled and rechambered for the 8x56R when the Spitzer bullet came out. So they went to smokeless powder and the Spitzer bullet, which I just showed you. Also in the background there's some other cases from rounds I'm testing out some loads. And now I got a few extra hours today. I'm going to probably get those loaded up, and as soon as the snow goes away I'll be able to make it back out to my range and test them again. But with this M95, I might have to zoom in here a little bit. Don't know how good my lighting is, but it does say M95 here, and above it is stamped Budapest, because with the Austro-Hungarian Empire, if I've got this right, and if I'm wrong please correct me, they had to split everything equally. So the Hungarians made this rifle in the Budapest arsenal, and the Austrians made theirs, and it's stamped Steyr in the Steyr arsenal. I've got the Hungarian flower here. I'm going to try and, or not flower, I'm not quite sure. Let's see if I can't move this tripod without making everybody too sick. But it is their proof mark right there, if you can see what that is, and then the barrel alignment. And if you can read there, it's stamped 33, but it's stamped over some additional lettering, and I'm not quite sure, so I have a feeling this was re-arsenaled in 33, but I don't know the original date of the rifle. And of course it has this big S, which means it was re-chambered for 8x56R, and it is not the original 8x50. They can also have an H stamped in there with the S. The interesting thing about dropped it. Interesting thing about this particular rifle is most of them, let me zoom back out here, most of these rifles were rifles, and they had about a 30-inch barrel or so, and they had long rifle sights. These are flip-up sights, but they were normally longer, and they had, sorry for kicking the tripod there, they had swivel studs in the stock, which has been repaired, and the front sight was on a band, so when they cut them down they moved the band down and just retightened it. This is a welded on sight, which is typical of when they had they made just the carbines, because for a while they made just the carbines, and this is a carbine length. But a book about these M95s that I found out was they also made something called a Stutzen, which had both the side mount swivel and the swivel here. But if you notice, when that screw gets tightened down, there's a big gap, and there's a spacer in there. They used to put a sling swivel here and here, along with the one here and the one that's been sealed in the back of the stock. So I think this is a Stutzen, and I could be wrong, but as of right now that's what I'm going with, because it has a welded front sight, but it also appears to have had the original rifles sling swivels as well. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about the Mannlicher design, it shoots these using a clip that is loaded into the magazine, and this is a straight pull design. So you literally just forward and back, and it's hard to do right here on my table working around this camera, but it is a straight pull, and it is dirty because I have been shooting it recently. But you would take this 5 rounds, you load it into the magazine, and then when the 5th round is loaded and you chamber it, the clip falls out of the bottom of the magazine through here. Hope I did that justice, but I'll get some video of me shooting this. I forgot to get it when I shot that factory ammo. I didn't get it quite, forgot to get it videoed, and I was just trying to test fire it, make sure everything was good. Once I get my reloads going, I'll get it back out to the range and test fire it. And just so you know, this did come completely coated in Cosmoline. I mean, my Mosin Nagant didn't even have near Cosmoline this thing. It looked like they just dipped it in there and let it air dry in a vat of Cosmoline. But this is kind of initial thoughts of the rifle. Also, whenever you do go to pull the bolt out, you actually move the trigger forward. That fired it as well. But you move the trigger forward and it drops, if you can see it, these little pins right here, there's one on each side that retain the bolt in. When you push the trigger forward, it drops those. And when you pull the trigger, obviously it drops the sear, but if it's cocked, it will do that. And it does have a safety. You can put the safety on when it's like that and it will lock it, or when you cock it, you have to pull back a little bit. You can get that safety to go in as well. So it's a neat little rifle. It's a lot of fun. It's shortened down to about a 19-inch barrel, and that cartridge definitely kicks a little bit. But there'll be more videos on this, and I will probably strip this down and put pine tar on it like I did with my Mosin. But just initial video, and hope you enjoy.